Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. This is Maya, and I am actually very shocked about what I read online, and I thought I could talk about this. So, on Live Japan, I was kind of scrolling through this article saying 12 surprising things you may notice after coming to Japan for the first time. So, of course, it's not my first time in Japan, but I've actually never lived in Japan throughout my childhood. I actually came to Japan in university, so that was my first time. So my first time in Japan was me being an adult. So I did have a lot of surprising, culture shocks, and I still do. I'm just like, why do Japanese people think like this? Why do Japanese people do this? And I just wanted to kind of react to it, and I just want to let you guys know, not all Japanese people think like this, or more like, not all of these are true. So, you guys, I don't know if you've been to Japan or if you're planning to come to Japan, but you'll realize that we are very, very dry people. I know Japan is the land of nice and great and sensitive and welcoming people, but that's not exactly true. It depends on what time you're walking around. So if you come here during rush hour, everyone's gonna hate you, especially when you have your luggages. You would hear people being like, stop bringing all your luggages on the train. And we're not that friendly, actually. We're friendly to foreigners though. Number 1, 12 surprising things you may notice after coming to Japan for the first time. So number 1, everybody pays in cash. That has actually kind of changed, especially since the new cashless rules were trying to implement using credit cards and applications on a constant matter. So cashless systems are something we're trying to focus more on. We do use a lot of coins. It says coins, are they very convenient? Yes, they are. I use coins all the time. So we have coins from $1 to $5. So it's just like using a $5 bill. So we will constantly use coins, especially in those gacha machines or vending machines or konbinis, when you just don't want to use a card, because card does take a little bit more time to print out the receipt. Oh, coins are actually convenient was number 2, actually. Yes, they are actually convenient. Number 3, people sleeping everywhere. Yes. We're a very safe country. There is a lot of theft, actually. But on the trains, a lot of people sleep. Their bags are up there and the railings. And yeah, we can just leave it there and we can fall asleep. But if you forget it, there's a chance that it'll get stolen. But there's also a highly likely chance that it'll come back to you. But yeah, but you can sleep anywhere, on the benches, on the floors, in the grass, in the park, be homeless, and you will still not get that much stuff stolen. So yeah, it's like safe to say that we can sleep anywhere we want, but I preferably don't want to. I honestly am scared that someone is just gonna take my stuff, because, you know, Japan is a safe country, but there are a fair number of people who are not nice. So don't be too assuring, but it's a highly likely chance that it is more safe and more theft free than the place you're coming from. Number 4, no one is dying. People just wear masks a lot. That is true. In my previous videos, a lot of people ask me why I'm wearing a mask. It's because I want to. It's like a fashion statement. Masks are a huge thing in Japan. We just wear it if we're not wearing makeup. We just wear it if we feel like it. It's a fashion statement. That's why they came up with different colors, from pink, black, green, blue, white. A lot of different colors, and it just makes you look cool. But there are other reasons, like I might catch the flu and I don't want to catch the flu. There are chances that people are getting colds and we don't want to get a cold. So there are a number of reasons why we wear masks. And it's not just because you're sick. There is a chance that other people are sick and you just don't want to catch it. And that's the main reason why I wear masks. Number 5, it's okay to be alone. So this one's a little weird, because I don't think we're that independent here, honestly. I see a lot of people, well, like if you see people in a cafe alone, I'm sure you see it in other countries, and people like to travel alone, but I'm sure a lot of people in other countries also travel alone. There are backpackers in Japan, but there's also backpackers anywhere. So I don't think being alone is that much of an issue, but the issue of being alone is that when people don't get married or when another spouse dies, a lot of people are found unalive, alone. So there is a word for that. It's called kodokushi. It means dying alone, and that is a big problem here in Japan right now. Number 6, you've sure gained weight. We're not that direct, honestly, but we will say things like, wow, you've lost weight, or wow, you've gotten prettier, wow, you've gotten cuter. We will say compliments, but it's not like we're gonna just say it out of our, like, we're not gonna just randomly tell you that you've gained weight. But then we're not gonna be like, oh, hey, I think you've gotten fat. We're not gonna say that. I think Westerners are a little bit more direct on that, and Japanese people tend to go around and around and around to get to the point. So even if you've been insulted saying that you've gained weight, you'll probably never notice. Number 7, there are so many rules. Rules, yeah, they're meant to be broken, but not. There are rules, like especially when it comes to manners. It's like you can't hold your chopstick like that, you can't give your business card like that, you can't put your business card on this side, you have to put it on this side. I don't remember those, but there are a lot of rules, especially when it comes to business or workplace. There are areas where you can't say certain words to a person, where you can't use certain mannerisms. So there are a lot of rules that you have to follow, and it's not like people are gonna call you out on it, but people will judge you. But if you're a Westerner or if you're someone of color, they wouldn't care as much. But if you're Asian, even if you're not Japanese, but if you look somewhat Asian, they will expect that kind of mannerism from you. So even if you're a Japanese person raised abroad, they'll always be like, why don't you have this mannerism? You're Japanese. And they will not understand the fact of being raised in a different culture, so they expect the same mannerisms as you. So you will have to follow the rules that are set in place. And it's not like it's taught, really, but when you first join a company, when you're older, when you first join a company, they will teach you mannerisms and how to give business cards and how to talk to people of upper class or people who are above you or lower than you. So there are certain ways to write emails, and it's really complicated. If you haven't learned it, it's really difficult to like just kind of get in the habit, and that's actually something that I need to work on because I'm really bad at mannerisms. So I just only know how to start off an email being like "osewa ni natte orimasu," which is being like I am in your care, and you have to write that in every business email. Everything is kawaii. That is true. We will see a stick on the ground and we'll be like, oh my god, it's so kawaii, and that is actually true. I think it's like a word that we say. It's similar to like saying like, oh, it's cool. It's not that different. It's like, oh wow, cool. Oh, it's like a sound effect. Kawaii is like a sound effect. It doesn't necessarily have to be cute. We could see a bug on the ground and we can like, oh my god, it's so cute. Like it's like that. We don't really mean much when we say it's kawaii. But everything around us, like if you're talking about the stuff that's sold in Japan, it is made a little bit more cuter. Like there are faces on like foods or like wrapping or anything. So like in that case, like things are made cuter than the ones overseas. 9. Japanese people love food, but very few are overweight. That is actually true. A lot of people are just like, no, you're fat because you don't work out. It's like that's not exactly the case. Like I have many friends who don't work out at all but will eat more than me. And Anna has actually mentioned in a previous video saying that body image in Japan is a huge issue because some people, like Anna and I, we are a bigger person in Japan, but we do work out and eat less, but we are still unfortunately bigger than most Japanese people. So it's really weird. I don't know, they probably just have like a huge metabolism, or maybe we're promoting anorexia. I honestly don't know. Number 10, no takeout at restaurants. It's really like we care a lot about, like, I'm not gonna say we care a lot about environmental issues. It's not like we don't want like plastic boxes, because that's not true. You've seen our supermarket video. You know that we always use plastic boxes for everything, and we're like the last country to recycle. So you guys know this. But I don't know why we don't do takeout. Maybe it's just mannerisms again, that you eat at the spot and you enjoy the food there. Or it's just smaller portions, so we just end up not taking it back home. I'm not really sure, but we really don't have takeout boxes, and we just apparently it's food safety, but who knows. 11, you go to the doctor for what? That is actually true. I'm just like, oh, I might be catching a cold, and everyone's just asking me, have you gone to the doctors? I'm like, why would I go to the doctors? It costs a lot more. Insurance doesn't cover an entire thing, and insurance doesn't cover my medicine, so what's the point of going to the doctors when I know I can solve it by just drinking Advil? But we do go to doctors for everything. Even though we have health insurance, it's not like it covers everything and every single doctor that we go to. But it's really weird. Like, we are told to go to doctors every single time we feel like something is wrong with our body. So people will be like, oh, I feel like an ache coming on, and they'll go to a specific doctor for like massages, and they'll go for, and if it's like they go to a specific doctor for like stomachs, and they go to a specific doctor for eyes, and it's just like, there's like really, like when I was in the States, I would just go to the doctors if I'm dying or something. But in Japan, you sneeze once and you will go to the doctors. Number 12, where are the garbage cans? Yes, no garbage cans. There are some, like at the convenience stores. Like convenience stores, there's garbage, but you can't, it's rude to throw away your home garbage. When I was working at the supermarket, people actually brought in diapers that they brought from home to throw away at the grocery store, and that was disgusting. Like, why would you do that? And people are just so, I don't know. But they will, there's no garbage cans, and I don't know why they don't want to throw away things at home, because they don't want to, we do still like recycle, like bottles are separate, paper is separate, plastic is separate, bottle caps are separate. So I guess people just don't want to separate things, so they just like go to like a common space like the konbini, the station, or the supermarket, and they just throw their trash away, and they just leave it to the staff to like spread it out. It was really disgusting when I had to pick up the diaper and put it in the plastic bin. But it's like, there's no garbage cans anywhere. It's only at your house or those public common spaces, but you'll never find them at like random spots, which I understand. It's like, it's to prevent terrorism or like bombing or overflowing or messiness. I understand, but it's just like, but it's actually amazing how nobody litters. Like, Japan's a clean country. Nobody really litters except like tobacco, which should stop. But it's fairly clean, and it's amazing that how people can just keep it like that with no garbage cans. If you've seen our Shinjuku video, we have been walking around town with a bottle of tapioca. Yes, if you enjoy videos like this, if you enjoy learning more about the Japanese society and my opinions as somebody who's kind of Japanese but not really Japanese, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you in our next video. Sayonara!